Good afternoon. This is Mike Kobza from Western Republic Insurance Services, and I'm a commercial lines agent. I was hoping to share a story with you this afternoon, and it's something that popped up in the last couple weeks. And it's really a tragic story from one of my insureds. So I've had this client for 10, 12 years or so, and he's a really good, nice guy, and he runs a business where they manufacture some items. He's a contractor, and they also install those items. Um, and I've been servicing his workers' compensation for the last, like I said, 12 years or so. Essentially, he never let us take a look at his alternate coverages. He had a good friend of his since high school that had been servicing his other accounts. And he was under the impression that his general liability policy was covering his property. And unfortunately, a catastrophic claim occurred on his premises. So as you can see here, there was a massive fire, and this fire occurred in Laguna Hills, California. It was just a couple weeks ago. And the way it started is an e-bike company had lithium ion batteries within it. And I'm not sure if they were charging them or what, but one way or the other, a fire started. And those lithium batteries are they're extremely dangerous once a fire starts going. So that fire spread and spread and spread. And my understanding is that fire burned for over a week, maybe even longer, as more and more batteries continued exploding. Well, all of the other businesses on the premises within the proximity essentially ended up getting damages from this fire. And unfortunately, like I said, my client was within the proximity of that. So my client went to go file a claim, and he was under the impression his general liability policy would have his property covered. And unfortunately, that is not the case. You need a property/inland marine policy that's going to cover you on items like this. So he ended up losing over $250,000 in business personal property that was not covered. In addition to essentially having to lay off his employees, and he just didn't have the right coverages in place. What he had was something like this. It's a $1 million general liability policy. It'll pay a third party in the event of some sort of claim or accident or them getting hurt, but it's really not going to cover you or your items. So long story short, this is the type of policy that the e-bike company has as well. So at best, they have $1 million for this occurrence to be paid out for the damages to all the businesses around them. So at the end of the day, when there's 10 or 12 other businesses getting destroyed, there's really not going to be much left to go around to actually cover my insured. So what he should have had in place is something like this. He should have had a property policy in place that extends business income and extra expense coverage. That coverage is so extremely valuable because when you get displaced, this will actually pay your bills. It'll pay your employees. It will keep your business on its feet, even though it's not running. And it'll do so for up to 12 months, which is really incredible. And had this been in place, he wouldn't have had to lay off his employees, and, the future of the business wouldn't be in question. Had he had this, business personal property coverage in place, he would have been able to recover all of his different property that he ended up losing in the fire. And he lost a lot of equipment too. And, you could schedule equipment on these policies as well. So it's extremely important to know the difference between a property policy that's going to cover your business personal property and a bunch of other items as well, including your scheduled equipment, versus a third-party general liability policy that's really not doing much for you other than fulfilling a contract and giving you the most bare minimum of third-party coverage. Thank you for listening to my video this afternoon, and have a wonderful, safe afternoon and evening. Take care.